Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Merci de votre présence. Ça me fait plaisir de vous voir aujourd'hui. Et merci aussi à la ministre des Affaires étrangères de la Jamaïque qui a co-organisé cette réunion des ministres des Affaires étrangères femmes. On sait très bien que le partenariat entre le Canada et la Jamaïque est très fort et notre objectif était de créer un espace où nous pouvons nous réunir et plaider en faveur de l'égalité des genres et du renforcement du pouvoir des femmes. The fact is, we all know someone who has faced gender-based violence or harassment, especially in the digital space. And all of the women around the table today have faced misogyny. Having experienced this sharpens our commitment to advancing gender equality and empowering women leaders globally. Just as the generation before us paved the way, we are working so that the next generation of women leaders can go even further. L'esprit de collaboration dont nous avons été témoins ces 2 derniers jours est exactement ce dont nous avons besoin pour régler les problèmes critiques auxquels les femmes sont confrontées en matière de leadership et de participation à la vie publique. C'est ce dont nous avons besoin pour prendre position dans les espaces publics. We're all aware of the global pushback against women and our human rights, and the increased threats faced by those who dare stand up and advocate and protect women's human rights. Digital technology may have increased freedom of expression, but it has also silenced voices. Over the last 2 days, foreign ministers from around the globe came together. We exchanged experiences and lessons learned, and we identified potential solutions for positive change. First, within the UN system, it is time for the next Secretary General to be a woman, and that was clearly called on by all women foreign ministers. The UN has been existing for more than 75 years, so it is more than time. We also need better gender parity for the presidency of the UN General Assembly. And when it comes also to Afghanistan, we called on the Taliban to restore women and girls' rights to education and meaningfully participate in public life. Nous devons favoriser et protéger le leadership des femmes et notre participation aux espaces politiques et publics. Nous allons le faire avec toutes les femmes, femmes québécoises, femmes canadiennes et femmes du monde entier, parce que ce sont nos droits dont il est question. Et nous continuerons à promouvoir une participation égale des femmes et nous attaquer à la désinformation nuisible dans les sphères publiques et numériques. Thank you so much. I'm here to take your questions.
Good afternoon, Minister. David Lau with CBC News. My questions today are pertaining to the situation in the Middle East, in particular, Lebanon. How concerned are you about escalation in the region, and does Canada support Israel's latest offensives?
Well, first and foremost, we are very concerned of what is happening in Lebanon and, of course, in the wider Middle East. We need the war to end, maybe the war in Gaza or also at the border between Lebanon and Israel. We need a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages, a ceasefire also at the border between Israel and Lebanon. And the families that used to live in northern Lebanon need to be able to return to their homes, and same for those who used to live in southern Lebanon. And that is why we need to make sure that we address this issue. I'm here in Toronto today. I'm heading on Sunday to the UN in New York, and we're having also a meeting of the G7 foreign ministers on Monday night, and of course we'll address this issue.
And my follow-up is, did the pager attack cross any legal or moral lines? Do you have any worries about non-conventional fighting?
Well, I think, your question has been, the second question is also answered by my first answer, which is basically notwithstanding any form of tactics or different strategy, at the end of the day, we need this war to end. because there's been too many civilian casualties, too many innocent children, innocent women who have been killed, and there's been too many suffering on both sides. And at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we bring back peace and security in the Middle East, and Israelis and Palestinians need to be able to live side by side in peace and security. Same for people living also in Lebanon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Hi.
With Global News. What's the latest on government plans to evacuate Canadians from Lebanon, and are you positioning additional resources to evacuate Canadians at this time?
My message to Canadians that are in Lebanon have been consistent for now months. You need to come home. You need to get out of Lebanon. And my message to Canadians who even think of going to Lebanon is don't go. And I've been saying that for months. And so in that sense, we need to make sure that that message is clear, that it is also well followed by Canadians. And we need to make sure also that we're well prepared. We know that we have around 45,000 Canadians in Lebanon. I would like to thank those who decided to change their travel plans following the advice. I think that was well received, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. But as you can see, even with this week's recent events, the situation is extremely dangerous, and we need to make sure that we protect Canadian lives. Of course, we're also very concerned by family members that may be in Lebanon and many loved ones of Canadians that are in Lebanon, and that is why on the geopolitical front, on the diplomatic front, I'm working every day with my colleagues of the G7 and with also Arab states to bring back peace and security to this wonderful region. Thank you. If you have any questions about the Women Foreign Ministers meeting, I'm able to answer any. Thank you. Yes.